many of you know, the next installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Captain America Civil War, which hits theaters next year. Now, according to Lady Sif actress Jaimie Alexander, we learned that Civil War will also serve to somewhat set up and allude to the next Thor film, Thor RAGNAROK, hitting theaters on July 28, 2017. Alexander also revealed that Lady Sif will play a pivotal role in the new Thor film, saying the following: Marvel, I think on purpose, they don't tell me certain things because they know I'll be like, so here's what's going to happen. But I do know I will be in Thor 3 and that Sif will have a very pivotal part in that movie. I just can't tell you what because I'll get shot. Schnepp, what do you think of Alexander's comments?
I love it. I love that she's, we all hope that she's going to be in Thor 3. And in fact, we probably were betting on it that she's going to be in Thor 3. But that she's going to be in Civil War is great. I can't wait for Ragnarok. I'm a big Beta Ray Bill fan. I know that'll probably never happen. The guy with the weird horse head.
Don't count it out.
Hey, I'm just saying, I would like that to happen. But yeah, I'm excited to hear that she's going to be in Civil War with the other 75 Marvel characters that are all going to have like some segmented scene in there. With Ant-Man, he's going to be in there.
Well, let's be clear here. I don't know that she came out and said she's going to be in Civil War. I don't know that she has. At least in the comments that I've read, she hasn't come out and said she's in Civil War. They have said that Civil War, though, is going to have a lot of hints and do a little bit of setup for Thor Ragnarok, right? But whether she's in it or not, I'm not really sure. When she was on the panel with us, Jaimie was on the panel with us at Stanley's Kamikaze about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And remember backstage we were all talking. But I think she said actually on the panel that there is more Sif in more Thor films coming. And she told us that like a year or so ago. Yeah. So it's not surprising, but it is exciting because I actually think that Lady Sif is one of those underused characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, because she's one of these characters that I think was meant to be a side afterthought character, but she plays out so well when she's on screen that I think it almost kind of behooves them to utilize the character more. And I just love the way Jaimie plays her. So for me, this is terrific news. I'm excited about it, Mark.
Jaimie Alexander was on a panel with you guys at Kamikaze. Where the hell was I? Where was my invitation?
You weren't part of the team yet.
That's something I want to participate in. This is great news. The Civil War is going to set up Thor Ragnarok because it means we might get another Thor tub time machine random sequence like we got in Avengers Age of Ultron, but it'll be explained more. So I like that these movies tie into each other so well, and they are some ancillary characters so far in Thor and Thor 2, The Dark World, where you're interested in what exactly they have going on behind the scenes back up on Asgard. So I think that we will see her in Civil War. I don't think it's going to be a big part. Nobody's going to have a really big part in Civil War. It's just a bunch of people hanging out at a bar, and a fire marshal's like, there's too many people in here. We got to get some of you guys out.
The Hulk just tears the bar apart.
But I like that it's going to be a setup for Thor Ragnarok. It means that they're going to continue all these stories together. So every movie that's coming out from Marvel, kids, is going to feel a little bit like an Avengers movie, because it's not just about the character on the marquee. It's about all these characters tying in eventually until we get to Infinity War.
I'm glad you brought up the whole hot tub time machine scene, because everybody knows I actually really enjoyed Age of Ultron. I liked it a lot, but one of the big problems that I had with the film was that whole hot tub time machine scene where why were you taking up screen time? I think, wait a minute, I'm going to go and get into this magical bath and hopefully the spirits will give me a vision. It's like, it was so inconsistent with everything they've done so far with Thor and with everything else. And at the same time, he's bringing along what's his name's dad? He's bringing him along, the scientist.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Naked man.
Yeah.
Naked man who loves to scream and all that kind of stuff. He brings him along, who's supposed to, in the movies, like be this man of science. And he's going to explain to Thor how he can receive a vision from the water spirits. Like that and now they're saying that's all a big allusion to Thor Ragnarok. That's all a big setup. Well, it just kind of highlights for me, I didn't pay to come see Age of Ultron to watch you set up Thor Ragnarok. I came to watch Age of Ultron, and I thought it was a wasted scene.
I'll say this about that scene. I think it was setting up the Infinity Stones. It was less about Ragnarok and more about the stones.
You think so?
Yeah, because that's what he saw in that vision, was like all the different stones coming together. And that scene was also truncated. I would have rather that scene been longer, and they cut out almost all of Hawkeye's like stupid farm family stuff.
Yeah, but plus,
I like the farm.
I like the farm scene. You do need to know how Thor bathes and gets that luxurious hair. You can see a bottle of Pantene there in the corner. corner. What concerns me about these comments in Civil War is that you hope that Marvel isn't too overbearing on the Russo brothers and saying, oh, you guys need to have this scene in there because we need to set this up. Because that was the complaint that Joss Whedon had about making Avengers Age of Ultron, is that Marvel was like, no, you got to have that scene in there. So I hope that they're not too like, no, you got to do this, you got to do this. I want the Russo brothers to be able to make the movie that they want to make, because I think that they're smart enough to be able to set up future films without having Marvel say, no, you got to do this too.
Well, they're also doing the Infinity Wars, so I think they're all going to be like, it's all going to be.
They're setting up their own story.
Yeah, it's not like they have to set it up to give it to somebody else and be like, and then we'll do this. So I think it'll be smooth.